episode 25. And I guess, since the normal person who does the recap isn't here, not going to be a recap, right? And you guys don't get any XP for it?
Oh, God. Okay, let me try. I'm the wrong person to be doing this.
Last I remember, I killed, let's say Higram, because I just did the mini, so why not just kill him? I killed Sen, I killed Gulran, I killed Nikolai. I think that's who I managed to kill last session, right?
Yep. Yeah, so we disarmed all the traps, talked to the rogue dude, pretty much found out where the party we were looking for is. We made a plan with him, left our resident drow, decided on a different plan, and we were discussing that, and whether or not to include the drow in the new plan. I believe we decided we were going to.
Yeah, I think we were just about to head back to see what his contribution was going to be, and if he was willing to get in on the plan. We also had kind of like a layout for the area we were going to try to rescue the. We had a layout of the area where they were being captured.
Yep.
I mean, where they're captured. They're like a little map.
But yeah, so I believe John's plan was something like we're going to get the team to follow us to a place where we lay an ambush.
Yeah, I don't remember the particulars, but I think we were saying because he is potentially a good trap setter because of what we saw, we could try to have a way to lure some of the drow we're trying to mess with into those traps to them in numbers and stuff like that. Basically, we wanted to fuck up the red drow.
Yeah.
In some fashion.
Well, that is a pretty good recap, unless anybody wants to add some additional input. We can...
I think at the end we had just slept so that we could go back to the road when we said we were going to.
Yep, you chose to rest in Rusty's new hideout.
Yeah.
Yes, technically, that's true.
I mean, isn't that the most accurate?
Yeah, that's the best kind of correct. Is technically
that's
correct.
That's the phrase I was looking for. Well, so let's delve back into it. You guys are deep within the tunnels. This is the map that you all had known about. But I believe your plan... Well, why don't you guys let me know what your plan is for the morning? As day will begin, Luna will not properly awaken. She is still asleep, and nothing that you can seem to do can wake her.
Well, Wilson, you actually sleep in her house. Is this common? Like, have you seen something like this before?
Have I seen something like this before?
No, this has not happened.
I have no idea what's going on with her.
Does she look injured, or?
No, she doesn't look injured. She looks like she's sleeping peacefully.
Isaac is gonna roll a heal check.
Yeah.
There you go, 15.
Yeah, she seems healthy.
Like magic, any enchantments or anything?
Yeah, you can give me a detect magic. Give me a caster level check as you cast detect magic. You feel something like pushing back as your eyes attempt to focus in on what is upon her. but you can see that there is very powerful, give me a knowledge arcana check magic upon her. Yeah, that there is very powerful enchantment magic upon her. It is very bright as you look upon it. It kind of like pushes your eyes away, as if something very powerful had placed some sort of spell on her.
Yeah, there's some powerful magic keeping her asleep all night.
Some sort of curse?
That would come up like a specific way if it was a curse, right? Or...
Curse is usually necromancy, if I remember correctly. Let me double check. I feel like every time I think I remember what curse is, I get it wrong. Yeah, bestow curse is necromancy. So, but you're getting enchantment here.
Yeah, it's a specific curse that I don't know about, but it seems like it's just a strong, powerful enchantment she was falling under.
What can we do about this?
Well,
Yeah, do we need to like bring her to her church or something?
have I already commuted my spells for the day? Or...
You have not yet. Like it's been like you're in the first like kind of waking up, getting yourself kind of focused, and you all notice that like you're making a good amount of noise, like some of you doing preparatory stuff, and she's just not waking up in any of it.
I could prepare to spell magic, but knowing how powerful this is, I don't know if it'll take me all my power for the day to get through it. But...
Maybe this'll work. I shake her really hard.
Yeah, you shake her really hard, and there is a vision that comes to you as you shake her. To the rest of you, before I give him this vision, Silvio, you pass out as you see this vision. You are like standing in the middle of an open and empty field. The sun is shining down on you. There is lush green grass growing all around you. A cool breeze blows across your skin, and perhaps for the first time in a long time, you are totally at peace. Like, it's, for a Lars follower, it's very common to like let rage sort of be your guide. Rage is sort of an inner peace to a follower of Lars, but here there is serenity. And as you look about, there is nothingness in all directions around you except field. Everywhere that you turn.
Except what? Everywhere?
Everywhere that you turn.
Okay. I'll try taking a step.
Yeah, you take a step and you feel the grass like move underneath your foot. You feel the breeze blow a little harder upon your skin. Nice, cool breeze, warm sun.
Any elevation I can go towards?
No, flat in all directions. No, the only thing that could guide you is the single sun high up in the sky.
That's white.
Okay, so I can determine my direction.
Yeah, you could determine direction using the sun from what you know of the world.
Cool. Do I need to roll a survival or?
No, just tell me which way you want to try to head.
I'll start heading north.
Okay. You choose to head north. As you head north, you will feel the heat of the sun quickly start to fade, and the blowing winds pick up. The grass around you sort of begins to decay, and the earth looks as if it starts to freeze over until the temperature drops to a heavy chill. To all of you outside, as you're looking at this, after a few minutes of Silvio being unconscious, really like a minute or two, Silvio starts shivering. What do the three of you want to do?
Does he radiate the same magic?
What? Give me a cast level check. You spin your head towards him and you can feel like he sort of grays, like there's an empty magical area there. It doesn't give you any detail, but there's definitely some magic there.
Is there anything in the room like coat rack, chair?
There was a bed. I'm assuming there's a side table in most of these rooms, and probably a small table and chair.
Room?
Yeah, because you're in Rusty's room.
Is there a broom?
Oh, no broom.
Okay, I'm gonna get the chair. I'm gonna slide it over to Silvio and I'm gonna hit him with it.
Okay.
Not to hurt him, but
Yeah.
to shake him without touching him. Because he touched her and then passed out, and I'm not about that life.
Yeah, Silvio, you are starting to feel cold. And then all of a sudden, you feel something slam into the side of you. And your eyes kind of your eyes kind of blink for a moment, and your eyes reopen, and you're back in the room, laying on the ground.
Okay, I see that I'm getting jabbed with a chair.
Yeah, you see that you're getting jabbed with a chair. There's this little halfling just
Are you challenging me? No.
No! I don't think you should touch her.
Yeah, I was in some sort of field with blackness all around and a single sun.
Single sun?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some sort of
Dream world?
extra dimensional space. I don't know.
Must be really strong magic if they can just pull somebody else in. Did you see her there?
No, it felt relaxing until I started to head north and started to get real cold, and all the grass started to die.
Like you said, he started turning blue.
He started shivering.
Oh.
He was not
Yeah.
to the turning blue state. That takes a few more failed attempts to wake him up.
Yeah, you were shivering too. That's why I started trying to wake you up without touching you.
Maybe we could find someone that could maybe dispel what's going on with her.
Well, I mean, jabbing me with the chair worked. Jab her with the chair.
I'm a jabber with a chair.
She does not wake up.
I shrug.
Yeah, it seems like she's more like the source of it, but I don't really know much more than that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is something that just periodically happens.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Does anyone know anything about the mistress?
Only tangentially.
Yeah, maybe it's some sort of trial the mistress is putting it through.
Is there a knowledge I could roll?
You can give me a religion check if you think it could be that.
Yeah.
I have knowledge religion. I think it could be that. So I will definitely. roll
So
that.
Rusty, you have no idea of any trial that the mistress puts people through, and Silvio, you're pretty sure the mistress doesn't do that to people, but I mean, you don't really care about what the mistress does. The mistress is like, a lot of her followers are kind of weak. They all want to feel things.
Yeah, she probably doesn't care about their strength enough to test them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this doesn't get more feelings or whatever she's looking for, so I don't really think this helps the mistress.
But one of you does know it's of an arcane nature.
Right.
There is some kind of spell upon her.
Well, like I said, I have access to dispel magic, but I don't know. I'll be powerful enough to do so.
I mean, we could try. We could go back to our friend. Maybe our friend is powerful enough to dispel
Ooh.
it. Person who gave us the mission.
The sneaky guy?
You do not seem like a powerful spellcaster.
I guess I didn't really pick it up. Do we know anyone that's very
Well,
powerful?
the traps were magical that he set though, so maybe he is.
I guess, but
I mean, I'm thinking more like maybe he did this. Like, that's a possibility, I think.
I mean, I guess either way, I would feel like either way, talking gets us something. Either maybe he knows someone that can help, or we figure out it's him, and we try to solve the problem that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And do we have a way to maybe see if it's like poison? That's like some sort of. He seems like he might have access to some sort of weird poison that might
I do
do
have-
something like this.
well, it might be rebuffed.
Attack poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she is not poisoned.
She is not poison.
And double dose of detect poison there.
I would try craft alchemy to try to come up with something that might wake her, but I don't think that's going to help.
So was there
Um,
no sorry.
No, go ahead.
Was there no rebuff on, or because detect magic doesn't have spell resistance check, so is there a
Correct.
difference between detect poison? Like, could I figure that out? Like, why one was rebuffed and one was
So yeah, this would prompt you a knowledge arcana check here.
knowledge arcana?
Yep.
Knowledge arcana, figure it out.
Ooh, very good. So with the 23, you'll know some very specific things that might be of good use here. The first is that magical diseases, in order to overcome people's, in order to come certain abilities, have sort of adapted protections to keep themselves from being detected and to keep themselves from being cured. So a detect poison wouldn't bounce against that because it's not, it hasn't created a false flag maybe, or nor has it created protection from something that would not detect it. But detect magic could potentially detect it, and so not having that magic shine through would be a benefit to it. With a 23, you know that there are magical diseases that could put a person asleep. You
I'm
don't
assuming
know what they
magical.
would end up looking like though.
Magical STD is.
I was going to say magical STD.
Well, it seems like the most probable case is she has some sort of magical disease. We could buy a scroll of removed disease, but we would rely on the strength of whoever casted it or us casting it. Might be better to find someone who can innately cast this. Maybe
Well, I mean, like
Agatha
Isaac could
or
cast
something?
it, but he's
Oh.
not as powerful as us.
He's not a what?
As powerful as us.
It also involves him touching her, which may be an issue.
I mean, we could
Would a
try.
disease have pulled Silvio in like that, though?
That is a good question, which I think a 23 can elaborate. It is possible to contract an acute, like, to however the disease is transmitted, there is a possibility that it was acutely contracted. And it's easier to remove the disease from a body that's in an acute infection as opposed to maybe something that's had some time to incubate in a person. Some also just do it as a defensive mechanism to keep people from being able to use certain disease removal effects. For the record, by the way, this is something I've been waiting on for one of you guys to get lost while you're down, or for one of you guys to no-show while you're down here.
Oh yeah, so Isaac can't cast level 3 spells, only level 2.
Okay.
So he cannot, but he can diagnose disease, and that he doesn't involve touch. Assuming we're still able to switch our spells, I think Steve said.
Yeah, you have not prepped your spells yet. You have plenty of time to you have time to talk about it.
Oh yeah, I guess I could look at what spells I want, or I've already done that.
So yeah, if we want, he can diagnose disease.
Do you guys want me to attempt to try to dispel it, or should we even bother?
He has diagnosed disease?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that was a spell.
Yeah, here it is.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, I don't know. If you feel like you could dispel it, I would go for it. But it seems like it's very, very powerful. It's affecting her. So.
Yeah, well, I'll try.
All right. Well, prep your spells for the day then.
Yep. I'll swap over one of his divine favors to diagnose disease.
See if I have any extracts that might help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I'll do here, mechanically, is if you can successfully diagnose the disease, I will allow that +4 bonus to be applied, that +4 bonus that would normally be to heal, to be applied to any dispel or any remove disease spell, to any, like, dispel or remove disease spell that would be cast.
Excellent.
So, yeah, I have my spell list ready. Is Isaac able to tell us what disease it is?
Yeah, so Isaac can cast a diagnosed disease, and can Isaac please give me a caster level check?
Yep. I'm just clicking under spellcasting War Priest, Forge Priest.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that is enough. You will know that this is oh god, it was, I forgot the word. Hold on, I need to pull up the source again. God damn it.
Vile Darkness.
No, it's not from Book of Dial Darkness. It is where I got some of the ideas for this stuff from, though. I think it's Creeping Catatonia is the word I'm looking for. That's the word I want. Yeah, Creeping Catatonia. You know that this is a condition that people can catch. It is a magical disease it's been sort of like around in these deep tunnels for a while. It's able to naturally sort of reproduce because there's not a lot of light, and a lot of people have theorized, like, as people who are not used to the darkness come down here to spend long periods of time, it's more common they might sleep in a little extra and nobody quite realizes that, like, this could be something bigger. So this disease is kind of allowed to spread and reproduce over time. Just here and there, somebody sleeps in a few extra hours, maybe an extra half a day, and everybody just attributes it to, oh yeah, like, you know, you're just oversleeping because you're not used to the time. There's no light. There's nothing to kind of, you know, fix your circadian rhythms. But as of the last, like, few years, it's become something that more people are recognizing is like, oh, this is a real like magical disease that is that's being spread down here. It's never quite made it to the surface, but some people believe that like daylight might have some negative impact on the disease being able to spread. It is likely or possible that some of you may have contracted this. But this diagnosed disease only detects it on one person, and simply because you contract it doesn't mean it's going to affect you right away.
You could be a carrier.
You could just be a carrier, or it could be, like there's theories that it's triggered based on specific events, or that it's triggered based on like conditions that you've caused for yourself.
They're like...
But it's never affected a person who's awake. Like, it's never been one of those things where, as long as you don't interact directly with the person, it's never one of those things where you, like, fall asleep for no reason. It's always like you stay asleep longer than you intended to, and sometimes dramatically longer than you intended to.
So, like in Friday the 13th, we're just gonna stay... Or no, Nightmare on Elm Street, we're just gonna stay awake.
Sort of. Trying to see what else this gives. Yeah, you can cast light, but light is not bright enough.
I know.
Okay.
But I know Hiram does it. He's like, oh, light helps? He casts light on the chair and sets it next to her.
Yeah, there's just this light chair that's just hanging out there.
What I was gonna ask initially is there like a hospital that exists or something similar that we might be able to take her to?
Down here there is not. Down here there are clerics that she could be taken to, but they are going to be clerics of Ulaz.
Oh, she's just gonna, like, she's okay. She's just gonna sleep for a while and then wake up, right?
Yes, but the question is, for how long is she going to sleep? It can be dispelled or removed, which would effectively kill the disease.
What would be wrong with getting clerics of what you said to help her?
Nothing necessarily. They're clerics of Ulaz, though. So clerics of Ulaz are sort of all about people getting extended rests. But by typically giving it to them, they want her to sleep a lot longer than what this disease will let her sleep for. Like, indefinitely longer.
Hello, Mr. Corrupt Wall Street Man. Can you handle my money for me?
Oh, I have Dispel Magic prepared if we want to attempt that.
I mean, sure, go for it.
Well,
See.
Do we need to talk to that rogue today? Because if I don't know how much of this magic will drain of me if he tries to fight us, I will be useless. But... Well, not useless. All my skeletons. But...
Well, do you want to try talking to him first and then come back and do this, or do you want to? I mean, it could work.
Yeah, let's just see where we're at.
Try it once and then see what happens.
Yeah, can I just drag my token out here to track my spell points
Yeah,
or something?
absolutely. Here, I'll bring us back to the main page.
Okay. So first of all, let me hit the rest.
Yep.
And I always do a mage armor, so -1.
Yep.
And then, okay, I will attempt to do my Dispel Magics. Let's go. Ugh.
No.
The 2?
What an awful roll. Yeah, the magic easily pushes back your feeble attempt. In fact, for a brief moment, it gives your hand like that kind of numb feeling, as if it like kind of reached out to push the dispellation back into your fingertips.
Ugh. Well, you know what they say. First time blows rough. I'm sure someone says something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard it once from my uncle.
Oh, 17.
Not enough.
Oh, I'm gonna try a few more times unless someone tells me not to.
Well, so I guess they would have to know what level of spell this is to know whether or not they'd want to stop you.
I mean, I don't know. My character doesn't know.
He's just a weak ass spellcaster. I don't care what he does.
I'm like, it's not me wasting all my energy, so I'm okay with it.
Well, I mean, if he wastes his energy, though, that's energy that you don't have for later circumstances.
Well,
Yeah,
I already said my piece. I was like, try it once. If it doesn't work, we kind of see if she wakes up on her own. Go talk to the road. You know.
Well, the problem is I don't want to leave her here sleeping with none of us attending her.
Get some Skelly boys.
What? I'm not leaving my skeletons here. They protect me.
You have to leave them all.
No.
How much weight can they carry? Put her in a bedroll and have the skeletons drag her.
True, they could together carry her. Then, like, if fights break out, they just like put her down for the first time.
A portable sleeping beauty. I love it.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. I'll just try a few more.
I'm sure she's going to be so much more safe being dragged around from battle to battle than in this house that no one is going to come in. You guys are right.
Well, do we know if anyone comes in here? I don't know.
It's your
It's
house.
your house. Yeah, you should know.
You know, none of
I
your
thought it was your house.
none of your stuff
I
has been
technically owned
disturbed.
it because
Well, it's under new rule. I don't know what their rules are. They could just park in here if they want. Probably.
Did it look like anyone had entered in a long time?
No, not since.
I think we just
not
leave her
since
here.
Sen
Go
was
check her.
last here.
Jesus, you guys are savage.
leave one skeleton here to protect her. Like, you can tell if you sever a connection, right?
No, I don't think I can know that. Fine, there's some compromise here. One of you is a cleric or oracle, right? Let's go try to buy a scroll of, or can you learn, or it's too late to learn it now, I guess, but...
Oracles don't learn spells like that.
Yeah, no, I meant for Isaac. Let's buy a scroll of status, so at least when you can cast it on her, and then...
I mean, Isaac has all the cleric spells. So.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have memorized status, would you?
No, he wouldn't have memorized it now.
Oh, it's a witch spell too, actually. But it's touch, so it can only work, I guess.
Hey, Steve. Shield other. I'm gonna pop it in chat.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody takes damage, the other person also takes damage?
Yeah, you would feel if she took damage, but I think it doesn't have to be within a certain range, right?
It does. The same range as the spell, so you break it if you...
Yeah, okay, it's the last line. If you and the subject of the spell move out of the range of each other, the spell ends.
I never read that much because I was like, oh, I'll always be writing them. It'll be fine. So, yeah.
Well, fine. If we're finding this place is going to be secure, let me just try to dispel magic a few more times. And no luck, I guess we'll believe her. 23.
Nope, not enough.
Yeah.
You don't feel
Do
like
I
the
have
tingling in your fingertips from that one, though.
I don't want to metagame it. Do I have a sense of my role when I dispel? Do I know, like, I did a pretty good roll, or do I not know that?
No, there's no real way to know how powerful it was. There is, like, something that's giving you a sense of how weak it was. So, like, the first two that you cast did sort of push back at you a little bit with, like, that numbness. The first time there was, like, a significant numbness in your hand. The second time it was just, like, the tips of your fingers, feeling a little touch of sleepiness.
Alright, then, yeah, I'll just do the couple of times like I said I was.
Okay.
And one more.
Yeah,
same check.
Same check.
Well, whoever cast the spell is very powerful. You cannot undo the magic.
Well, at least now we know that.
Probably when she slept with that weird bug monster.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Maybe.
God, yes.
Well, let's lock this place up, and I guess I'll
there a
leave
lock on the
skeleton
door?
here.
There is.
Okay.
My armored skeleton here, DP.
Okay.
I'll instruct him to, like, guard her.
Yep.
Yes, good job.
Yeah, and you guys are heading where?
I guess back to the road to tell the plan.
Okay.
Yep.
So you can make your way back to where the rogue was?
So did
Oh, yeah.
any of our plan involve diplomacy where we need her awake to do?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe like mechanically she could have assisted us with the checks. But
All right.
RP wise, it was
original
supposed to be like
plan
me
did.
talking. The original plan, yeah,
But
but it
this
was
one
very
doesn't.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Because she would have to have like 30 spells up, and they were all going to be like very variables and stuff. So.
I'm gonna cast my hours per day spell.
Mm-hmm. No problem. So yeah, you can go through the motions to get back to where the rogue was staying.
I believe he told someone the easy way to get in to bypass the traps. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was
Well,
like-
it was some sort of knock, right?
Yes. Yeah, we can say that you remember the knock. That's not a big deal. And eventually, after a few moments, the door will open. Are you back with any information?
Indeed. Can we come inside?
You may. Just be careful.
Well, can you tell me where not to step to avoid your
Just be careful.
traps?
If you don't try to do anything stupid, you won't have a problem.
All right.
All right, well, I just walk in.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, he's not lying to you as long as none of you are like trying to go do some random shit, touch some shit, or like take anything from him.
what a fancy looking chest you have there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wait, what's in here that we can take from him?
Do you have dark vision?
I mean, we could if I had
I do,
thought
yeah.
about that ahead of time.
I have low light vision.
So
I have 120 foot.
Sen, you can 100% see that there's a chest in a corner of the room. Besides just the table, some chairs, and some other little like home creature comforts. With a little bit of light, Silvio, you can see like that the chest that's there looks kind of like wavy, almost like it's like fading in and out or of the shadows or something like that, like it's trying to hide. With your perception, you can you're able to see that. I think nobody else would notice it because it basically disappears into the darkness otherwise.
Well, we're here to discuss some modifications to the plan.
I assumed adventures are always the same.
Turns out we have some grievances with the red-robed drow,
Good.
and we believe the blue drow will aid us in insurrecting their territory back, causing some trouble. In return for our aid in helping them do this, we will get your companions freed, which I'm sure will be a simple matter in terms of helping them retake a territory that once belonged to them. We have ample leverage to convince them as such. We have knowledge that the Red eventually will want to pursue them into their minds, and taking a passive approach would be ill-advised for them. They enjoy their minds and would very much like it not to fall into their hands. And I believe our companions wanted to loop you in on this, as in exchange for your assistance with this as well, I'm sure it would go well to retrieve your companions and their gear that you're after.
Let me make something that I need to somewhat clear here, because I think some aspects of who I am might be a little unusual for you. It's important that people not get to know who I am. If you need me to do something, I can add a little bit here and there. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, but what I mind is having somebody else move my hands for me. Now, if you have suggestions about things that you need done and taken care of, well, I can take my place and do what I need to, but as far as being a part of your plan, so much as being with you while you're enacting it, I'll work on my own while you're doing your thing. It will be to your benefit, I assure you. I know when to do the right thing and how to do the right thing.
I'll gauge.
Can't really get a beat on this guy.
Got some low rolls today.
Yeah.
How do we know?
Not good for a combat session.
How do we know that you didn't get your previous companions captured, and you're not trying to set us up to do the same thing?
Because if I wanted you to be captured, I would have done it already. It's very easy to get people captured. It's very hard to get them uncaptured. I think you underestimate my skill.
Okay, well, so specifically, what did we want this guy to do, guys? We wanted him to maybe help us by setting up some traps in an ambush location.
Yeah,
And then-
but if
and
he's
then-
not willing, it's not a big deal.
I didn't say
Okay,
I wouldn't
then-
be willing to help set up some traps. That doesn't seem like a bad idea at all. The key is making sure that you yourselves don't end up walking right into them and dying on your own.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we could mark him in some way that wouldn't be obvious to the drow, right? I don't know much about traps, but I think that's we could mark him with like a rock or something that we're familiar with.
Perhaps I might be able to find something that would be discreet enough to still blend into the disguise.
If you could, if you could help us with setting up some traps in a scouted location, and you don't have to be there when we actually fight. And if you can just tell me where the traps are, I'm sure I can memorize it and everyone can follow me or take my direction. And
Memory's a funny thing. Better not to tell. Better just to leave the right visual note. You'll know it when you see it.
You're not going to tell us what the visual note is?
Of course not. That would make it easier for them.
And if you're saying we'll know when we see it, won't they know it when they see it too?
No. I have much better faith in adventurers to find traps than I do random denizens engaged in warfare. I don't make shitty traps. The traps I set up let me know exactly what kind of people you are.
Well, you're the experts, if you say so.
Okay, and then so while we distract these dudes, lead them into the trap, that's when this guy would go get his stuff and bring the group to us.
So you think you'll cause a big enough distraction that I'll be able to sneak in there and get what we need?
I would prefer to get them because if they come back and see their place ransacked, they're gonna know we clearly led them astray. It'd be better if we just bargain for your assistance. We don't have to name you. We just say we have contracted help in this matter, and in return they want these people freed, or we want these people specifically freed. I feel like that would work better for all of us.
And then when they end up dead, what then?
Why would they end up dead?
Why would they end up alive?
Who are we talking about exactly? The drow or your people, your companions?
My companions.
Why would they kill them? They want them. I would tell them specifically we need them alive we've been contracted from the surface or something to return them safely. We can come up with a number of stories to tell them it's reasonable to keep them alive. Why would they kill them?
They're
Especially
going
for
to
helping.
believe that a drow and his crew were contracted by the surface to come down here and rescue a bunch of nobodies.
They don't know they're nobodies.
One of them could easily be a noble son who was trying his hand at adventuring and got in over his head. And we just ran into him down here. We were the ones contracted, and he's trying to make a little coin on the side by helping us to get the people we're after.
Silly, silly man. There are no nobles up there that care about people. Definitely not their kids.
This is
No.
a drow. No, you make it seem like the people taking control of these areas are basically slightly more intelligent thugs. Would they know that much about the surface?
Well, now you actually call me into the situation where I don't know. I'm just throwing out there potential foils to your plan to see if you've thought things through.
Well, me being a drow,
We got a drow here. What do you know about this? Are they
I
dumb?
would say, well, unless Steve can correct me if I would know this otherwise, but I would assume most drow do not study the surface and not concerned with the ongoings of what there.
I would say that, can I get a knowledge local from both you and Rusty here?
Sure.
Since both of you have had prior engagements with drow.
I don't have local
History then?
history. I do have.
Cool.
I'm a local man.
So the two of you will both know that, for the most part, that's true. The drow don't engage with the surface. However, those drow that do engage with the surface know deeply how to manipulate and control situations from the surface and know what the most real version of the goings on up there are, because it's economically beneficial to them. Distributions of things like poisons, specially concocted diseases, and the slave trade, of course, mean that they need to be more aware of what's going on than even the average denizen of the upper lands would be. But these are rare cases, and it's probably not very likely that these people concerned with this minor turf war over something as trivial to the drow as mithril is a very big deal. Worthy enough of them like keeping track of the surface dwellers.
If by chance one of them is familiar, we can just come up with a story that makes sense. Are any of you familiar with the geography of RE4? Where would the nobles likely be that?
Yeah, from where I was born.
So we can say that they took on adventuring, like the story says, and they're from there. Actually.
Bithara.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was going
We
to say,
can-
instead of a noble son, I didn't think about it until after I said it, but a noble son, they might try to keep. He would have value. A merchant son, they might be more willing to trade away because he just has as much value as the merchant whose son he is.
Sure.
Plus, you wouldn't have to have any names for a merchant. Merchant could be anybody. So that might be a little easier.
Yeah, I like that. We'll go with that, and that's just in case that they pry into too many more details. I think they'll be more concerned with us potentially giving back some territory that was just lost, and that will.
All right, and who's the best liar who knows the undercommon here?
I do speak
I
in,
believe I could do that.
but yeah, I'm not a very good liar.
I can do both those things pretty well, in fact.
Would they listen to him even though he's not a drow?
That's also a pretty good point.
That has yet to be seen. The Blue, I guess Astrum knows about how the Blue sort of interact. So Astrum, you would know that they are. If he speaks the tongue, and he does seem to speak it well enough, it's very likely they would at least be willing to engage with him, especially if he's able to say that like he owns you, because of the Reds, he owns you, and it's not like an arrangement that he's happy with. That might add some credence to things, like, you know, part of why you want to get back is you deserve your freedom, he thinks you deserve your freedom, and you know, well, it doesn't matter what Rusty's real position is on slavery, whether pro or against. These drow will recognize that, like, you were one of theirs originally, and you shouldn't be able to be, like, owned by them, just because you left for a little while and tried to come back home. And they definitely shouldn't be able to track where you went, kidnap you, and then bring you back while you were on the surface.
Yeah, obviously I would share that with Rusty and the party and let them know that.
Yeah.
So it seems like they'll believe me.
Well, the best lies I'm told are rooted in truth. So half of this is truth. So I assume you don't enjoy owning me as a slave.
It's a means to an end to allow you to be with us. So yes, I do not enjoy it.
So that part's the truth, and like I said, I've been told the best lies are rooted in truth. So I feel like this is a convincing story. Good thing they ate us.
Yeah.
What about you, Rogue? If we do get them to release them, where would you want them, and what do you like? What is to happen next after that?
There's a issue I have with your plan. Doesn't exactly give me an easy way to get what I need.
Well, if you're just like right out of the site, like you can just come right up when this happens. Like you're someplace in the shadows where you can watch us.
Again, though, I wish I could make this make sense to you. It's important that I can't be seen, and that I don't get seen. But it also, in keeping myself that way, makes it harder for me to access the realm of tangible objects.
Do you not have a trusted man you could send in your place to do this for you?
When you become like me, there aren't many you can trust.
Yeah, are you able to leave this room? Is the first question.
Yes, I can. I can go wherever I
Okay.
please.
Okay.
I am
Could you
still
disguise
me.
yourself instead of?
I think the problem is he doesn't want to risk it being seen through or anything like that.
Yeah, I get you.
And unfortunately, that is not a skill set I worked heavily on. When I went down this road, I thought that subterfuge of the hidden variety would be of greater benefit. It has been in many ways until circumstances like this. And I find that magical means of subterfuge do not quite satisfy what is necessary.
What if we could work it in the bargain with them that we are able to handle the release of these people first, and like maybe two of us guide them to you here, and then they come back and then we deal with our thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
I don't
will-
like that splitting up this group plan.
I would
But,
be
I mean-
comfortable with that, under the understanding that if they don't have the items that they're supposed to, those of you that arrive are going to be those of you that are no more.
How is that our fault? What if the drow have already
just about to
confiscated
say
them?
that.
We don't know.
I won't have a way to prove that you didn't take them unless I get them off your person. Or fail to in that particular case.
Well, it sounded like you were going to attack. Why don't we just show you our possessions to make sure we don't have them?
I assure you, if you're going to no longer be. I would not need to attack to do it.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Could we sign some kind of like binding contract?
Yes,
Like,
because everybody knows that everybody follows contracts.
I mean, some of them I
Are-
have to follow.
Are you some form of devil?
No, I am not.
Well, okay, we can do it this way. We can say that getting their aid and getting our aid to help this matter and your help with the traps is contingent on their release. We go through with the traps and everything first, and once we're successful, we will escort the people to you as a group together. And if they don't have the items you seek, then you'll have to take our word we didn't touch it. And if you want to engage in combat at that point, that's up to you. But we will keep to our word. We will bring them as they are given to us.
I'll be watching.
Wouldn't expect otherwise.
I guess we'll come back to you once we've scouted the path where we need traps placed.
Very good. I think that is an acceptable arrangement.
Alright, did we ever... Oh yeah, you didn't want to give us a name. What are we supposed to call you? I hate calling you, like, Rogue. You have an alias we can refer to you by?
You may refer to me as the Darkness.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
I'm gonna take a copper and throw it to him.
Yeah, if you throw it, it will like, it'll like just kind of seem like it phases through him.
Yeah, kind of thought so.
Alright, Darkness. Let's, we'll reconvene once we found the location for your trap setting.
There will be like the slide though of a copper back to you across the floor. I think you dropped something.
It was a test, which I'm sure you know.
Yes.
I'll pick it up. Not the most subtle of tests.
Hell gang.
That's like
you
saying
ready?
wink wink out loud.
Yeah, literally.
You ready to go talk to the drow?
Yeah, had
Yep.
that been me, I would have taken that as a threat. So I think you got lucky.
Yeah, hey, Grum,
I didn't
careful.
hurl it at him with violence. I just like, if he got hurt by that, I would have been like really surprised.
It's a follower of Lars you're talking about.
Oh,
Throw
yeah,
anything at him and he'll be like,
Yeah,
oh, that's
threatening
me.
Right,
That's
he's
a
like,
challenge.
Oh, you wanna go?
Are you
wanna
threatening
go?
me?
You gonna wake me up out of my sleep?
Yep. My nice peaceful sleep, man.
I forget, were we gonna ask him about this is out of character. Were we gonna ask him about Luna? I forget.
If you guys want, I don't think he has any, but maybe. I don't know.
I don't want to.
Definitely don't, because I don't trust him, and I'm like, he might
Yeah.
be like, oh, easy pickings. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So you want to head off to talk to the drow.
All right,
Yep.
so
So what am I saying to them?
Yeah, let's make sure Rusty knows what he should
Hey, let
be
me get the
saying if
script. Let me get the playbook.
Yeah, you're going to talk to them about how we are interested in aiding them in retaking their territory that was just recently taken from them by the Red. You'll let them know we are seeking their expertise on a location where we can lure them in for traps
Mm-hmm.
to thin their numbers. Also, the reason we're doing this is because I, Sen, was a resident of the Blue Territory and was taken hostage by the Red. And now I'm a slave to you by their rules and standards. And we very much oppose this and wish to get the Blue back in power so that I may be a free drow. And in return for our service, we were contracted by a wealthy merchant who thinks his kin may be among these imprisoned people and would like them all back alive so that he may check them out to see if they're one of his kin. He just wants them intact with all their possessions, and if they can release those people after we accomplish the goal, that is the deal that we want to make.
All right, should be good. I think I get it.
Great. And so besides that, like we need some sort of way to know if you've spotted the trap. Like I don't know, maybe like cough or something. Like unless somebody else has something else that.
What do you mean for the traps
They
that
think
the guy setting up?
Yeah,
in case
because
one of
we
us
don't know where it
notices
is.
and the
We're
rest
gonna
don't.
know it when we see it, but
Yeah.
like Rusty will
really
should
know it.
almost definitely know it.
Oh, so you're saying
So,
for
like-
him in case one of us don't recognize it.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like a cough, but there might be some other better way that you guys can think of.
Yeah, I mean, Rusty's
Well,
a
what if he
roguish
makes like
character.
a high-pitched girly scream? Because then
No, that
it'll
doesn't
be funny and informative.
They're probably more natural for him too.
That sounds pretty natural to me. Have you seen Rusty?
You want my help or not? I'll probably like crack my knuckles or something. It's like I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, Rusty's a roguish character. Maybe you can come up with some sort of thieves' camp thingy to tell us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be something like actually natural that these guys aren't gonna think something's up.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was thinking maybe like a cough.
Yeah.
Cool. So if he coughs,
Or-
be on the
I mean,
lookout.
you'll see either me cough or crack my knuckles, depending on what I think is.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. You said crack your knuckles. Okay, yeah.
Or you could say something like, "Did you guys see that?" Because we're not from the Underdark, it would be normal for us to be a little skittish. So if he's like, "Did you guys see that?" Like out in the darkness, we know that's
Well,
the direction.
then they might look too.
Oh yeah,
and-
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
no, I
all.
don't
Notice
want to get too
something's up.
complicated.
Horrible idea. Gotcha.
All right,
Yeah, I mean,
let's-
we can just say we can let Rusty like lead us as well, and we can follow his path so we
Yeah.
don't trigger any traps.
I mean, Silvio is about as good as doing that as I am, if not better. At least for finding traps.
Well, this guy has magical traps. That's why.
Oh, that's true.
Not
That's
something
right.
that I can
have to.
detect.
I can just find that.
All right. Well,
Or actually, I can actually see the traps still. I just can't disarm them. Yeah. Okay.
Possibly.
so this is the plan.
Yep.
Think so.
All right, we'll see how the plan unfolds after a short break. Shortly.
Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance.
Party has a plan in place heading to the blue territory. It's very easy to kind of wander in there. And yeah, whereabouts are you heading while you're in there? Nobody really approaches you as you head in that direction too much, but you do feel eyes upon you.
I'm not too sure. I guess we kind of just make our way based on that map or drawing we kind of had. I guess we just try to find someone in charge to speak to.
Okay. You will inevitably find one of the sort of street keepers, as they refer to them. People who, like, roam about this area just keeping an eye out for things. Hello.
Greetings. We're looking for someone in charge around here that we can speak to.
For what?
For some important matters discussing the territory that was just taken from us.
Alright, let's see what you got.
Who are you?
Yeah, we need to talk to someone.
These are street problems. I'm a street keeper.
These aren't street problems. These are political, governmental, large-scale problems.
That involve the streets.
Sure.
Street keeper.
Are you the war keeper? Do you man the armies of the blue? We need someone who can give the
You're
go
here to
ahead
go
for-
to war.
Well, we need...
I'll sound the alarms.
No. We need backing to take the territory back. I don't know if that involves massive movement of troops or whatever, but can you give us men to do such a thing, or give the go-ahead for fellow blues?
Nobody's looking to go to war. We let some territory go recently, I know, but it's fine.
It's not fine. This is why we need to speak to someone with a little authority around
Leader
here.
assures us it's fine.
Well, we have information that counters that, so we need to speak to them.
Please take me to your leader.
It's pronounced Lita.
Lita.
Sorry.
And
I'll do
I
it- I'll
assume
have to do
all
it in
these
the
guys
accent.
are only going to be talking Undercommon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All Undercommon? Okay, cool.
Please take me to your leader.
Lita's not really looking to see people.
Oh my lord.
It really. Can I? Okay. Can I? I hate to do this. Can I do an appraise check to try to think of an amount to bribe him?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try this again.
Yeah. You know that the right amount of coin can always get a person to take you to whoever you want. Here it's a little difficult because it could be at the cost of like his responsibilities here if what you're saying isn't worthy enough of having a conversation. But a couple of months' salary would probably do it. Like down here you figure they probably get compensated a little better because it's a very like dangerous society, so doing this kind of work is somewhat deadly. You figure they probably make about, I don't know, 10 or 20 gold a week, so 40, 50 gold will probably easily ensure that you get to see this person. But with the right twist of words, you might be able to get him to like let you do it for cheaper.
Can I? I like supplement that with like a bluff check to
Yeah.
be like, I really need to see him.
Yeah. So you can like make a little jingling noise in your pocket as you're like, it's really important that we get to see the leader. And yeah, he'll pretty easily pick up what you're putting down, and he'll be like, suppose we could make something happen if you've got something important enough to talk about.
Oh, it's extremely important.
Got any way you could show me how important?
I put like 40 golden gems, I guess, in my hand.
Okay. Yeah.
I start like tossing it and like catch, or I guess I don't know, juggling it maybe is the wrong word, but fiddling with it.
Yeah, you just like take them out of your hand and you're like kind of doing like a count of these gems. And maybe like you inadvertently drop one, make a comment about how clumsy you are. And then, you know, as you notice it's like definitely got his attention, you let a few more of them drop on the ground. Perhaps you, and then maybe utter like something like, hey, perhaps you could help me clean these up.
Yeah, I'm really clumsy.
He'll scoop them up. That's fine. I'll help you. I'll help get these up for you, and I'll take you to see her. And he proceeds to like scoop them up, put them in his hand, but move them into his pocket as he guides you down the tunnels. He leads you to a spot, a small room, or like a small door, in one of the long corridor ways. And he knocks a few times, grunts something in what sounds like, does anybody speak Terran?
Yes.
All right, grunts the word for foe, not friend. Or that's like one thing when you're
right.
Very specifically referring to an individual that is supposed to be a friend, but you don't mean for them to be a friend.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
Foe, not friend. So
Okay.
if like, let's say it's kind of like the Terran equivalent of frenemies.
Okay.
But the term like literally translates to foe, not friend.
Okay.
And the door will open, Who the hell are all these people? Only Rusty will understand this if Rusty's the only one that speaks Terran.
I also speak Terran.
Okay, so you'll know it as well. The two of them will go back and forth as he kind of explains what's going on. And then he'll, like, drop one of the gems on the floor. And they'll kind of, like, exchange glances to each other, noticing this happen. And then they'll both head in, escorting the 4 of you inside. I guess 6 of you, because there's the undead.
Are they really one of us?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, one of them is definitely one of you.
Yes, that's true. You're right.
You get inside, and this is a rather opulently decorated room. There are a number of like these sort of bloody tapestries of various like creatures being slain at the hands of some like very scantily clad drow wielding these elongated kind of kukri style blades in their hands. There is kind of like this makeshift almost throne that resides in here that a very attractive woman, a female drow, dressed very similar to the tapestries on the wall, with like a pair of sort of hunched over drow that are kind of like chained to her chair beside her.
It's a venerable house, opulent and imperial.
No.
There is a house.
What have you brought to me today? These don't look like anything I asked for. She says in Terran. The two of them will explain some degree of what you're here about. But I think they can explain better. And they'll both kind of step back and gesture for you to come forward.
Yes. Me and my
what
friends
language do you start speaking?
Terran.
Oh, okay.
Since that's what it seems like they're speaking. So. Me and my friends here, and unfortunately I have to speak for some of them because most of them do not speak the language. We here bringing you some information we have.
Information is always quite useful. Go on.
Yeah, so... oh, Jesus. I went through this in my mind, and then I promptly forgot it.
Okay.
You were taking notes when we were going through the whole thing of everything.
I was trying to remember it.
Oh man, I was like, yeah, he's definitely taking notes over there.
I literally thought I saw him typing.
Yeah.
I wish
what my companion is trying to get across, he's a little bit better usually with his words than me, but we have information regarding the Reds and the territory.
Why was he speaking first in the first place?
See, that's a problem that we also need to solve. Is that the only way they allowed your friend here to leave was under my ownership.
Ah, I thought you looked familiar. You lived in the Outer Rim, didn't you? You're Astrum, right?
That was once my name.
Was once. That is what the records show.
Well, since I'm under new ownership now, I go by Sen.
Ownership?
Yes, the Reds enslaved me like a dog.
What were your crimes?
Apparently, or do I know what they charged or said I was doing?
You didn't violate any crimes. Or you didn't,
probably trespassing, right? They took over the territory and they're like, yeah, we claim everything in this territory.
They went to the surface and took me. I was sleeping in Luna's place.
Okay.
And they took me.
Yeah.
They claim that he didn't have a right to have left the surface. Or that he didn't have a right to have left the land. He was supposed to be there. And whoever his mistress didn't report, didn't validate that he was he was allowed to leave. But Sen didn't have a so-called mistress.
Fortunately, I found myself venturing on the surface a bit, and I was unaware of the territory change, and they came up like cowards and ransacked me in the night when I was sleeping. Claimed I didn't have any authority to be venturing outside of the territories.
I am sorry, Astrum. We did not intend for you to end up in such a miserable circumstance. We thought those places were that everyone had left. We knew we were giving up the territory at the time. I didn't realize you had made your way on a journey elsewhere.
Which is not a problem. I'm resourceful, and I've made some good, trustworthy companions to help me out of situations when I can't get them out of them myself.
You would consider these trustworthy?
Yes. We've worked together on a few missions so far. They, as long as the right incentives in place, they will aid.
All
I
right.
agree. He is very trustworthy.
What is it you come here to discuss with me then?
Rusty, have you found your words, or do you want me to take it from here?
Well, we are trying to free our friend here. And we are just... we have a plan in place that involves some of your assistance.
Go on, I'm listening.
We're intending to lure some of your enemies. And ideally catch them off guard.
You would think it wise for us to strike back against them. You know many of our people aren't the fighting type, right? Many more
Well-
merchants and spell types here.
Well, that's where our friends come in. Because we are more of the fighting type. And if we could catch them off guard with some kind of trap or something, we could really do some damage.
So you would be willing to try to engage them and lure them back into some sort of trap that we set?
Yes.
This is a very risky suggestion. You could be putting your lives at stake.
You know, that's just the kind of people we are.
The new leader of the Reds is quite strong. I am not sure even I could best her, but you want to call that challenge upon yourselves? I will not stop you, and I will aid you in this setup of a trap. I can allow many of my people to be ready.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you could even manage to draw in their leader, it might give us an opportunity to seize the upper hand. Perhaps eliminate the Reds once and for all.
You know, that seems like it would be a win for us.
It would.
And for you.
Perhaps it would.
Yeah, do you think I am forgetting anything, Sen, that we need to bring up to them?
Yes, some major details. There are apparently in your confinement some lost adventurers that some wealthy merchant believes or is interested in their safe arrival back to the surface. In exchange for releasing them, once all this is done for.
You mean the aggressors,
the
don't
aggressors.
you?
What did they do?
They noticed that we had an abundance of mithril and decided to try to shake us down for it.
Wasn't aware of that, but
They noticed that we were of the weaker of the three and thought they could seize the advantage. Their mistake was not trusting my skill and the skill of some of my trusted advisors.
fools. But nonetheless, we are interested in their safe release. In exchange, we have contracted or am allowed to utilize a master trapper that may aid us in setting these deadly traps for the enemies.
Which would be a great advantage to help us defeat the rival queen.
I think that that works out well for both of us.
Indeed.
Well, it seems like it is fortuitous then that we happen to catch these interlopers, and perhaps we can make this work out well. I assume you'd like them handed over into your custody and care?
Once the task is complete,
Of course.
we would like to, yes, all of them in their possessions they were caught with. If you can hand them over to us, we can escort them back to where they belong. And
It's strange that you mentioned the possessions part.
well, we wouldn't like them going back without what they came in with. They need to help survive their journey back. They'll need their items that they had.
They didn't have any possessions except their clothes when we found them. But when we captured
Really?
them.
That does
They
not
threatened-
sound like them.
They threatened you with no weapons to take your mithril?
We thought it strange too. They had items on them, but none of them were magical, but they looked the same items that would normally be magical.
Can we talk to them?
No. They are working now.
Well, nonetheless, if those are their possessions and they're incidental, if you don't mind, might as well just...
We were unable to strip them of them, so they are yours to take with them.
Well then, that doesn't seem like it will be an issue then.
And a matter of my freedom, is this contract that he has to be able to be dissolved?
If we can overtake the Reds, if you can slay their leader, then your contract will be ended.
Good.
Excellent. And a piece of information that we've yet to discuss is the reason, obviously, I have personal investment in this. As well, I gleaned that their goals may lead them to this mine eventually. It was in your best interest to, if you can, help us pick a location that would be best to lure them, that they would chase us through once we threaten them and they would give chase. Is there any... You're more familiar with the terrain than I, or I don't know if I would know or something.
You're certainly more familiar with the terrain than me.
How have you done making it into their graces?
You mean pretend that we were on their side? What do you mean?
Perhaps. At the very least, if you are able to get close enough to garner their interest, or to state that perhaps we have more resources than we initially thought, or have had an abundance of wealth, perhaps you claim that we're asking you to play sides against them.
That is not our intent.
Yes, but if it was, then they might think a strike worthy.
True. And what? We lead them down here, and then this is where we can set the ambush for them?
It could be. I am not a strategist, just thinking of ideas. as they come.
Well, there is a way in. I could say I want my contract dissolved with them. And they could see any person would want that. And that I have information that would help them take the Mithra mines. They may be driven by greed and not think of the particulars. I don't know. Do you have dealings with them? Would they fall for such a thing, or would they be more scrutinizing?
I do not engage in dealings with them. They are hard to work with, unbearably difficult.
Well, if you need a third party, I can always act in that regard.
That is most generous of you.
I guess we'll discuss this as a party and on how to get them where we need them to be. But the staging area for our traps, where is there anywhere else that you know of in these tunnels that they would follow us through without thinking twice, and we could set our traps? We have contracted a master trapper.
If you have what you call a master trapper, then I'm sure they're more than capable of figuring out where to put traps that are in good position regardless of where you take them. Most of the tunnels are the same.
Okay. Perhaps we'll decide on that as a group, and we'll let you know the details once we've figured them out. If you're on board with this.
Yeah, maybe you could even show me a more detailed map of the area. That would help us really plan it best.
We don't share that with anyone, regardless of what your claims of a plan may be. What we can advise is the most advantageous position to strike would be to get them close to us, very close to us.
That works.
I'll have the two of them escort you to a spot where if you could bring them down that tunnel, it would be in everyone's best interest. They would think it in their best interest, and you will realize it's in yours, and it will also be in ours.
All right. I think that sounds good to us. I'll just translate for our friends here, just make sure they're all on board, and I'll repeat this conversation in summary to the non-Terran speaking people. See if they're okay with that.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, if they're in agreement, then I guess we get shown the place.
Yeah, so they will take you to, let me take you to a map here. I think this should be dark for most of you, so I'll move you all onto the map. So let me go collect your tokens. How much did that illuminate for all of you? Because it did nothing for the...
I can see, like, down the hallways. I'm guessing 120 feet.
Oh,
A black screen for me.
I just see a black screen. I can see my token.
Okay.
I've
I
got
don't
nothing
think
at
there's...
all.
I think somebody needs light, so... Who is going to cast some light?
I'll cast light.
Okay. I think normally...
Isaac's also casting light.
Okay.
I mean, if I have advanced notice, I
Let me
can also
grab-
do other things to see.
Let me grab the Isaac token here, too.
I think when we actually do whatever trap we'll do, I'll give people dark vision. But until that point happens.
Let me... This and... give... this. That should happen. Go. Okay. And then give the light to Higram. So I forgot to give his thing vision. Alright, now there should be light for other people. Higram should now be emitting light.
Yes, this is true.
Anybody not able to see?
What the hell is? Oh, that's the
And,
new.
and
Okay.
did you give Isaac his light?
Oh, the KQ.
Why do people seem translucent? Is that just part of the effect? Okay, never mind.
Oh, they're ghosts.
A spooky ghost.
It doesn't look well. Everything looks
It was for a
translucent to
second.
me, but my
Yeah, it
screen
was
is
like
on top of
blurry
my screen.
looking, but
Okay.
but
That
when you
was-
did the second light, it cleared it up.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, her advisors will advise that this tunnel going this way is the tunnel that heads to the red territories, and the tunnel that is likely best to have them follow you down.
Excellent.
She will inform you as well if they get too far down this hallway. You will be personally liable for anything that is lost.
All right, then we stop them at all means.
It would
Here.
seem that we would attempt to trap those two hallways as best possible.
Yeah.
What's this way?
Yeah, what is the other way? Is that where we came?
More blue residences. That is the direction in which you came from.
Okay.
So yeah, we should trap this hallway, and then maybe as an emergency, we trap this area or something. So in case they run by us to the sensitive area, they get.
Well, you'll be
Sure.
informed that if you're going to trap that, you'll have to be careful because there will be guards coming down that way.
I don't think we're making the decision of what's trapped, so
That's
Well, we tell him where to trap, right? We say this hallway.
we're not talking to him.
What do you mean we're not talking to him?
He's
I thought he was like choosing where.
yeah. That's why
I thought
we had to
literally
keep a
had to
lookout.
No, we told him we were going to come back and tell him where we wanted to trap because we didn't know where yet. It could have been like a random location that you had no idea where.
No, he specifically
Yeah.
told you that he doesn't want to tell you where the traps are.
Yeah, he's hiding and watching us.
Yeah, but
like,
we told him we had to tell him where to trap. Like we need this hallway trap. Like we didn't tell him where.
I mean,
yet.
we never
he doesn't
said
know-
that.
I told him. I said we will come back and tell you the location. He said yes. Come back and tell me. And then he said I'll be watching to make sure that you don't do anything bad. And we're like, yeah.
I think there's some misunderstanding there. But it's either way, that's fine. You can come back and tell him the relative location of where, but he did not mean logistically you tell him exactly where.
Okay.
I was gonna say, in real life, miscommunication happens all the time.
Correct.
It's very possible. you
Well,
guys
then
just-
in character, I'm going back to him to tell him like the
Yeah.
location.
Yeah, that's fine.
That makes sense. So can
Is
we,
this the
like,
thing now? I would check to see, like, when do I have to check? The traps?
After you tell him the location that you're going to cause this engagement to occur.
I was gonna say, on our like pseudo map that we have, are we very far from that?
The layout of this looks exactly like the area that he had recommended to you. Or that he had said, like, the storage facility thing is, or the mithril mine is, rather.
And I was gonna say we could actually mark on the map where we want the traps, and then when we go there, we can show him on the map like where they showed us the best place for the ambush will be and where we're gonna try to lead them. You know.
Well,
Then
you
we
don't
actually
have the
have a
map
visual
with you.
representation.
He didn't give you the map to take.
Oh.
The map is laid out on his giant table.
That's right. You gave us a little map so we could see it.
Right.
But we don't actually have it.
Correct.
But I mostly, I mean, My character probably mostly remembers it.
Which is actually probably good, because if they found us with a map of their area, they'd be like, "Oh, this is what you're doing,
Yep.
murder."
This looks really
No,
sus.
I needed to find you. So
Okay,
Yeah.
we're good with this location.
So we're heading
I
back.
think we're,
Okay.
yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you can head back to meet with him. And as you get to the door, you'll hear something whisper from the darkness nearby. No need to go in.
Can we speak privately out here? I assumed your location was protected against anyone who might be unseen listening or anything like that.
I am, yes.
Well, what about the rest of us?
By proximity, yes.
Alright, well, I don't know how much you were able to follow or if you were able to see the whole thing, but we have the place where we need you to trap up.
I know, you didn't fully listen well, but
I don't think you listened well. What if we wanted to choose a different location? How would you know?
I thought it
We
was
said we
clear
were-
I was going to be following you.
Yes, but I wasn't sure how far you could follow, and if you would know the specific spots we need trapped.
I know the specific spots that need to be trapped.
No.
I'm gonna gauge that.
Yes, go right ahead.
Jesus.
I actually believe
I
that
know where
part.
it needs to be.
You know,
Yeah,
I-
seems
I'll-
like-
Seems legit.
Fine, I'll try it. Never
No,
mind.
seems like he knows the exact spots that need traps.
Let us be clear, we are in agreement on these things. The northern corridor, assuming you saw it, needs not to be trapped because there are their allies walking through there. We need if it was north centered,
Yeah.
we need the western corridor trapped. That's where we plan on leading them through.
Did you take me for new at this?
No. Maybe I misunderstood. I thought we were going to agree on where you were putting the traps. The specifics of hopefully see them when we see them.
You paused the specifics, and then you
Oh.
paused.
I said the specifics of where the traps were to be put are not to be told to us. But allegedly, we'll see them we'll know them when we see them. So I just want to make sure you don't trap where our allies are walking.
I
The
know.
temporary silence was him getting his throat slit by this dude.
I know where the traps need to go.
All right.
This isn't getting us anywhere.
Yeah,
You know where the traps
here's-
need to go. I will trust your judgment.
Thank you. Was that so difficult?
Well, we are liable if anything happens to that northern corridor.
I am aware of
So-
who is liable for what.
That's what concerns me. You could frame us for doing something with that knowledge now.
And what good would that be to me getting what I need?
I don't really know. You've been very vague on all your exact motivations for all of this, so it's best we're just clear with one another when we speak instead of in vague generalities.
I need back what's mine. It is
Yeah, so-
advantageous if I can work with you to get the people freed. I can't go in and sneak and do it because I can't make myself known. I can't take any diplomatic actions to get them out because I can't let myself be known.
When we were there, it seemed like the people didn't think they even had possessions that were worth
Yes.
Look at these shadow things in here. Obviously that's involved.
I was able to disguise the situations of what they had. Many of their items were either rendered inert or stored into extra-dimensional space on their persons that is no longer active until they are back within proximity of me. I call them the darkness holds.
it. You gotta come up with a better name for that.
What's wrong with my names?
Well, if you want
Nothing
people
on
trying
that
to
one.
find your dark holes, that's fine with us.
I said holds, not holes.
All right.
See, that's why.
Adventurers always want to critique things they don't
Break you in the
understand.
mouth.
I mean, everything else I'm fine. Everything else I was fine with. The name is what got me.
All right. How long will it take you to adequately trap your areas that you are doing?
It'll be done by the time you're ready.
You goddamn riddle man! What if we're ready
one
right
question.
now? It's obviously not ready.
Then you can
Oh, is he
consider
thinking-
them trapped. Perhaps.
What?
Perhaps I already did it before I got back here.
You're full of shit. No one's that good.
He'll chuckle, at least acknowledging that you're not wrong on that one.
All right, we'll let you know when we're ready then. Will you be around here, I guess? We'll probably be a day or
Just
two planning.
put some faith in me. It will be done when you're ready.
All right, we don't need to
I
come
am
back here
willing
then?
You
to
do not
accept
need to
this.
come back here.
Okay. You say so. All right, gang, where are we going to plan this? Want to go back to the
Back.
house, sort of?
Yeah, back to the house.
Back to
Check
the
on
house.
the body that's laying in
Before
Yeah,
we
check
go,
on, Luna.
let me offer you at least one symbol of my trust. And he will flick a small bead over to Sen.
What is this?
Take a look at it yourself. You tell me.
Detect magic?
Yep.
And
And then Knowledge Arcana and Spellcraft.
spellcraft. What is this?
One sec. I never remember. Yeah, this is a small bead, which, based on your spellcraft, it is an abjuration. It has an abjuration spell and a. I think they're both abjuration. No, and an illusion spell upon it. Upon spellcrafting them, give me a second spellcraft. I'm sorry, it's 2 spellcrafts.
2 spellcrafts?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, perfect. It has upon it non-detection and silent table.
that's useful.
These should keep you unseen for a while and unheard for a while.
Do you have this back when we're done with all this, or is this a gift?
I will need that back. That is quite pricey.
Well, fair. All right, I'm fine with this.
Good. Just to make sure you're aware, in case you decide to run off and try to sell that.
No, that would.
It is an item that after a certain number of days will return to me. So I'll get it back one way or another.
Can I roll? I don't have gauge, but can I spellcraft? Like, is that a no? Like, do I think that's conceivable?
Give me a Knowledge Arcana.
Knowledge art.
Okay, so you would know it's possible that he is hiding an aura, that he's hiding a spell aura on it using undetectable aura or the spell magic aura, in order to make it so that you can't see some kind of underlying magic in there. It's the same way that the Pathfinder pouch works. You hide the magic so it doesn't detect as a magical item using that spell.
Okay.
And so that's probably something he cast upon it to have it recall at a certain time.
Noted. We will be returning this once this whole thing's over with.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you and having this all work out okay. I don't like having to kill adventurers.
You don't like
Like
having
being
to
dead, so
kill
that's a
random
great-
people as well. I know my skeletons. You definitely do not do that. All right. Well, I guess we will see you when this is all done.
Indeed.
And let's head back to Rusty's place.
I think we will take this opportunity to wrap up for tonight. A little early. but I think any further planning and any further like taking action should probably have the person who's going to be healing you all involved. And so we can see how things transpire next week. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.